Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another Vintage Cube draft. Now, we did open up what is arguably one of the better Moxes, but I still think the red Mox or the white Mox in the mono red or mono white decks is actually stronger than Mox Sapphire in the blue deck. But, of course, we opened Power, so we're playing Power. Just taking a quick scan on what I'm hoping to wheel out of this pack. Fractured Identity, Bribery, Is It Signet? Probably none of those things are going to come around, but we are taking Mox Sapphire. Alright. I mean, Pack 1 Power, Pack 2 Power seems like the way to go. I would not mind a Jace the Mind Sculptor, but, I mean, I'll take a Time Twister. Draw 7s are good. Okay. Pick 3. We've got Thief of Sanity, Jace, and Spell Pierce. Jace is not that exciting. I think I'm going to take Spell Pierce. Just being able to interact on turn 1 is just super strong. So we're going to go with Spell Pierce. Alright. I like Brazen Borrower. Could take Blightsteel and try and speculate on maybe seeing a Tinker. There's a Treachery. Treachery is an incredibly strong effect. It's also Dark Slick Shores. I think Treachery is the pick, but Brazen Borrower is just so strong. I'm going to go with Treachery. We'll see if I regret doing that or not. Okay. Well, in this pack, there's a Forge Master. There's also a Workshop and Batter Skull. I don't think this is a Thassa's Oracle deck now. We could take Condemn and start moving towards a weird control-y deck. That's probably the way to go. I don't think we're going to get enough artifacts for Blightsteel to work. I kind of totally forgot that we had Mox Sapphire while I was looking at Blightsteel. I think we take Condemn. Because, like, unless we're playing Storm, which this could be a Storm deck, I guess that would be a like, we would take Firebolt for Storm, but I'll take Condemn. Alright, there's a Repeal and a Thousand Year Storm. I mean, and also, I guess Mana Tithe. We could take Mana Tithe. Repeal in Mox Sapphire is great, because it's just, like, a free cantrip at that point, in addition to, like, actually having utility bouncing your opponent's stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna take Repeal. The card's just really strong. I like Impulse. Impulse is very good. This is not really a Giver of Runes deck. This could be an Archangel Avacyn deck. It's interesting to me that they were able to print a Serra Angel that gets better and flies and has flash. Not flies, Serra Angel flies, but yeah. Take Impulse. There is a Tendrils in this pack. There's a lot of Storm cards going really late. I think if I'm taking anything, though, it's going to be Baral. I mean, I could just speculate on Tendrils. It's just I really, really doubt this is going to be a Storm deck, unless we see a High Tide and a Time Spiral. Alright, I'll take it, but I'm not going to try and go Storm 100%. I think I'm most likely... I guess I could Ulamog. Like, if we could High Tide into Ulamog or Mind's Desire into an Ulamog. That's a valid way to win the game. I'm going to put those both in the maybe pile. Alright, Kozilek, Butcher of Truth. There's an Oblivion Ring and a Dismember. Nighthawk Scavenger feels like it might be kind of deep on black, and I'm not sure if we're playing black or not. Kozilek's good for the reshuffle, but I think I'm taking Dismember. Because Dismember we can play in any deck we want to play. Palinchron if we want to go Storm. Same with Lotus Bloom, we can also make that work in Storm. I think Palinchron, just for more land untapping, is probably the way to go. Dark Petition. I guess at this point Thassa's Oracle. Make a pile of Storm cards. This could be an Oath of Druids deck. We basically have no creatures. Probably not playing Plow Under. So if we're not playing Storm, we missed out on Brawl, Manamorphose, etc. We could totally Oath into Ulamog. Like, that's a thing that can happen. I like Leovold. Probably going to take Force, because we do have a lot of really strong blue cards. So, I mean, why not? There's a Yogg-Will in this pack, which I think might be critical if we're going to play Storm. But free counter spells are free counter spells, so we're going to go with that. If Yogg-Will comes around, I'll keep that in mind as I look. I will pick up like a High Tide if I see it, or Time Spiral. We're also looking for like 3-mana Narset. We don't have a lot of fixing right now, so had we gotten more fixing in pack 1, taking Leovold was a consideration because we do have Time Twister, but... Alright, I see a Lotus Petal, Collective Brutality, Tezzeret, Path, So if we want to go controlling, we can take Path. Lotus Petal is good for just storm purposes. Tezzeret right now can find our Mox, but doesn't do much else, even though Tezzeret's a very strong card. We did not take Lotus Bloom. Collective Brutality is disruptive, kills dorks. I think the pick is probably Collective Brutality, if not Lotus Petal. I'm going to go with Collective Brutality. Dark Ritual, Gitaxian Probe, and a Tundra. I'm going to take Dark Ritual. I'm going to try moving into Storm. Dark Ritual is what we need more for the Storm cards to work. Gitaxian Probe is much better because it replaces itself and it's free, but we're going to need some rituals if we want to actually win. There's a High Tide, so it's kind of looking like Storm is open, at least on this side of the table. I will take High Tide because that's a way we can get to our huge creatures. There's a Narset. Kind of sad to pass Ancient Tomb and Fact or Fiction, but Narset is incredibly strong, and we have a draw 7. I don't think this is a Show and Tell deck, even though we do have an Ulamog. We could take O-Stone. Alright, hang on. I will take Show and Tell, but I don't think I'm gonna... Well, there's Krark the Thumbless. He's a Storm guy, right? Where you cast an instant sorcery, flip a coin. If you lose the flip, put it to your hand. If you win the flip, copy the spell. Nah. I'll take Show and Tell, but I don't think I'm gonna play it, actually. Toxic Deluge. I don't really like Emrakul the Promise End, and we already have one big Eldrazi. So we'll take the board wipe. Mind's Desire is great. We'll take Mind's Desire. Leovold came all the way around, and if we get any fixing at all, we can actually play him. So I'll take him. Lotus Petal did not come around, but Pyretic Ritual did. I really doubt that I'm playing red, so I think the pick here is Emry, even though we only have like one artifact, and she's not even good with it. Could also take Sphinx of the Steel Wind, I guess. I'll take Sphinx. I can speculate on a Tinker, maybe. So I'm almost certainly blue-black. I'm going to take Languish. Oust is, I think, on average stronger, but I like having access to a board wipe, and I don't think I've seen Damnation. Expansion Explosion is a card we can cast. Random Shockland could be important. O-Stone in the side. Honor of the Pure in the side. So we just need a couple more spells that untap some lands and we're good to go. Or Ancestral Recall. I mean, I'll take Ancestral Recall. Just 3 power cards. Just casual 3 power cards. Why not, right? We're missing out on Daze for this, but I mean, I'm not going to take Daze over Recall. It's just not going to happen. Alright, we have Dack Fayden, Mana Leak, and Mana Vault. We did not take Tezzeret, so Mana Vault is worse. Dack Fayden is in a color we have no fixing for at the moment. Mana Leak, I really want to take Mana Leak and try and wheel Gush. I think that can happen. We could take Breeding Pool, that could help us splash an Oath of Druids. We're really looking for like a frantic search, I think. I'm going to take Mana Leak. I want to have some kind of disruption, and Mana Leak is a way to do that. Watery Grave is exactly what we want. There's also Time Spiral. I can't pass on Time Spiral. High Tide Time Spiral is just so strong. Somebody is going to take Watery Grave, though. Yeah, I'm going with Time Spiral. Okay. It's not really an upheaval deck. I mean, it would be hilarious to, like, High Tide Time Spiral, make a ton of mana, play Narset Time Twister, but, like, do I look like a psychopath? Oh my gosh, that'd be so mean. We could take Thrawn Dynamo, it's just more mana. Oh, I want to cast Upheaval, but this is not really the deck to do it, I have a feeling. Even though it is a strong blue card. I think Thrawn Dynamo is the way to go. Yeah, I'm going to go with Thrawn Dynamo. Hymn to Turok, we do have Dark Ritual. We're not really a Hymn to Turok deck, but we can make it work. Otherwise we can take something like Gilded Lotus. Yeah, I kind of like Gilded Lotus, even though it doesn't like contribute to our land untapping plan. It does fix our mana and technically like allow us to cast our larger spells. I'm going to take Gilded Lotus. Okay. Tasigur is Delve. Take like Liliana. She can reanimate Palancron. Massacre Worm's great, although I don't think this is a Massacre Worm deck. I do feel a little bit bad that we only have Tendrils to storm with, like somebody else is taking Brain Freeze. I guess I have Mind's Desire as well. Yeah, I'll take Liliana. I don't know if I'm actually playing her or not. Trinket Mage can get Mox Sapphire. That's really the only card in this pack we can play, so I'll take Trinket Mage. I like Turnabout. Turnabout's important when you have High Tide. Kind of sad to pass Night's Whisper, but what can you do? Everything in this pack is off-color except Bone Shredder. So I'll take Bone Shredder, but I don't think I'm going to play it. Gush Wield, thankfully. Very happy to have Gush Wheel. There's a Thragtusk, an Exhume. Unless I'm exhuming Palancron, which doesn't seem very likely. I guess I take Wishclaw Talisman. Yeah, alright, I'll take Wishclaw Talisman. Mesmeric Fiend is technically playable. I mean, we don't need a huge storm count to win. Hymn to Turok came around, so I'll take Hymn to Turok. Take a random gigantic unplayable spell, and a random dork. Okay, so what are we doing here? I think what we do is we minimize on creatures so we can just play Oath of Druids. Or maybe we can make that the sideboard plan. But I think cutting green in that case is fine. We're not playing Thassa's Oracle because we didn't get Brain Freeze, so there's no like Brain Freeze ourself kind of plan. Okay, I need to start cutting cards that don't directly contribute to what we're doing. So Show and Tell is out, Toxic Deluge is sideboard, Dismember can be sideboard. Same with Languish. Thrawn Dynamo, Gilded Lotus can stay. Death's Majesty can go. Treachery, Time Spiral, Mind's Desire, Repeal. We don't need Mesmeric Fiend, but I like having Hand Hate. Maybe I cut Mesmeric Fiend. Trinket Mage just like refunds us a blue mana. If I had Black Lotus, I think I'd actually play Trinket Mage, but I think in this situation we don't. So we don't actually have that much black mana. But if I get like High Tide Palancron, we just go infinite, and then we can filter into black mana by using Gilded Lotus. Oh man, that's some magical Christmas land stuff right there. I think him is actually going to be too hard to cast, despite the fact that it's amazing. So we have Dark Ritual, Wishclaw Talisman, Collective Brutality, Tendrils, Dark Petition as our black spells, and everything else requires blue. I did not pick up Watery Grave, even though it was very important to do so. So I'm going to regret that a lot. 12 and 4. No fetches. Kind of a tough mana base, but I think I can make it work. Alright, well, I didn't mean to go into Storm, but I did. So, Mind's Desire into Ulamog, win condition number 1, win condition number 2, Tendrils of Agony. I will see you all, actually, in round 1. Alrighty, round 1, here we go. Would love to play first. I mean, it casts Mind's Desire. I'm gonna keep this and save Mox for, like, the combo turn. So play out an island, pass the turn. Opponent starts Spire Bluff Canal into a Grim Lavamancer. Oh no, it's Fun Police. It's the feds! So they're here to stop me from having fun. Alright. Oh no. Okay, well, this is fine. We're totally fine here. Oh, alright, High Tide. So past to second main. I could play Mox, High Tide, and then play Mind's Desire. But we can wait, because we can get Thrawn Dynamo out first. Uh-oh, I'm getting probed. That means he's probably got a counterspell, or some sort of interactive ability. The Dreadhorde Arcanist into a mountain. Alright. Opponent attacks us for 3. We take 3. They play Lotus Petal. We untap. We draw Treachery. Well, that's just free storm count. So I can Mox Sapphire, play a Swamp, High Tide, make a ton of mana, Treachery, make a ton more mana. How much mana is that? Hang on. If I play a Swamp, and I play Mox, and I High Tide off of the Mox, that's 7 mana, which I can then use 5 of, untap, and have Does this actually lose me a mana? No, there's no way. Yeah, we'll try waiting. We'll just play out Thrawn Dynamo. It resolves. Next turn. Next turn is the turn. Next turn is the turn where the things happen. Because my opponent's not playing like they have a counterspell, I don't think. So my opponent attacks. They get a draw off of Dreadhorde Arcanist. They get a token off of the Probe. Okay, we take some damage. One plays an Abbot of Carold Keep, revealing a Jace. Plays a Mountain. Plays Jace. Alright, we untap. We draw an island. Okay, well we have Dark Ritual in the deck, so we don't need to play out this other swamp. We're going to play an island. Play Mox Sapphire. High Tide. Treachery, taking Young Pyro, using our 3 colorless mana. Untap all of our lands. Then cast Mind's Desire. Get a token. Not the biggest Mind's Desire in the world, so hopefully we hit something good. Time Twister, something good. So is Wishclaw Talisman, so is Time Spiral. And so is Gush. Okay, well we want to cast Gush. Draw some cards. Yeah, opponent says you got enough draw power there. I'm gonna concede. Nice. With Palinchron, and I think almost enough mana to go infinite. It's close. So that was awesome. I'm gonna bring in Dismember. What do I bring in Dismember over? That's the question. What in this deck is bad right now? Probably Palinchron. Do I need Dismember? I don't know if I need Dismember. I probably do need Toxic Deluge, though. And I'm going to cut Mana Leak for it. My opponent plays a bunch of small, similar spells. So, like, kind of like Delver does, where it's a pile of cheap threats, counterspells, stuff like that. And I don't think that I need Mana Leak more than I need a board reset. Even if that board reset costs me life. Because in reality, if I pay like 1 or 2 life for Toxic Deluge, it's going to wipe the board clean. We're going to mulligan, because that's not a good opener. This, on the other hand, can be. So we're going to put back Turnabout. And see what our opponent plays. They probe us. Play Scalding Tarn and pass. Draw an island. Play an island. Play Mox. And the reason we're doing this is so we can play around Daze and leave up Spell Pierce. I'm really not above just Time Twistering next turn with minimal value. So when it fetches up a mountain and passes. Okay, so their turn. They play an Underground Sea. They play Grim Lava Man. And they pass. We untap. Draw Narset. Well, I know what I'm doing this turn. Play Narset. No downtick. We want her to survive because if we can land, if we draw a land and can play Time Twister with Spell Pierce backup, like this game is over. I mean, my opponent still has stuff on board, which could matter. They attack Narset. She was down to 4. They play Lotus Petal. They're desperately trying to empty their hand. If they have a Char, they can kill her. Seething Song. Hardcast Fire Blast to kill Narset. Wow. Alright, we draw Collective Brutality. I am just going to Time Twister. We need to draw and hit lands. It does refill my opponent's hand too, which is not good. Well, we drew Narset. Play an island. Pass the turn. So hopefully my opponent drew a whole bunch of creatures, and they just like flood the board with creatures, and then we Toxic Deluge, and they're sad. Fact or fiction? Let's see. You can have Arcanist and a Desperate Ritual versus 2 lands and a Ponder. Okay, they take the 2 lands and Ponder. Mox Diamond. Pitching a land. They Ponder. Okay, they hit us for 1. We go to 19. We untap. We draw Force of Will. I keep passing to second main phase because I think I need a stop on my draw step. I'm used to clicking through that. Thankfully it hasn't bitten me yet. So we're going to play a Swamp. We're going to play Narset. Down tick Narset. Dark Petition we cannot cast. Ancestral Recall is great, though. So take Ancestral Recall. It's like getting 3 cards. So pass the turn. We do have Force of Will. Okay, opponent plays the mountain we know about. They Mystical Tutor. What do they reveal? Duress. Abbot of Carroll Keep. Okay. I am gonna Force of Will this. Pitching Impulse. Actually, hang on. First, I'm gonna Ancestral Recall myself. Okay, now I'm gonna Force of Will this. Pitching Impulse. So my opponent can use Grim Lavamancer and shock Narset. Or they can just attack her. That's fine too. They play a Phantasmal Image on Abbot, exiling Firebolt forever. We untap. We draw a Swamp. So, play an island. We have 6 mana. We can use 4 of it to go to 5, 5 of it to play Gilded Lotus, and then Gilded Lotus play Toxic Deluge, untap, and we can play Ulamog next turn. That seems pretty sweet. Alright, sack Narset, let's see what we get. I will take Time Spiral, because reloading after this is going to be great. Play Thrawn Dynamo. Play Gilded Lotus. Toxic Deluge. We're going to pay 3 life. We were at a very high life total, and it was just, there was some ability for our opponent to have Fire Blast there, so we wanted to make sure that that just wasn't going to be a problem. Okay, opponent Brainstorms. They did play a land first. I love coffee so much. They play Baleful Strix. And they pass. We untap. We draw Repeal. Play a Swamp. We have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 mana. Yeah, alright. Just hard cast Ye Olde Eldrazi. Blow up, I don't know, Mox Diamond. Opponent is going to Mana Drain Ulamog and get 11 mana. Well, if I get Banefired, I guess that would be very upsetting. So shuffle our Graven. We blow up Mox Diamond. And next turn we just go for like the big Storm off. If we don't get Banefired for lethal. No way. No way. Emrakul? Oh, you can't just do this. Suspending Ancestral Vision, playing a land. So my opponent gets to do something on our turn with a repeal. I could just repeal Mox now, and I think I'm going to. It just limits what they can do. Okay. They can Spell Pierce our Time Spiral because we drew Spell Pierce. Otherwise they could have only like repealed a Gilded Lotus or something. Okay, they cast Time Spiral. Spell Pierce Time Spiral. Now I need to top deck Time Twister. Which I can do because... what was it? Shuffled it back in. Ulamog. Alright, we untap. We draw a Gush. Okay. So... Float mana. Gush. We get a Dark Petition. We do have multiple spells in Grave, so we can Dark Petition here. I could Treachery their Emrakul. They have 1 card in hand. What are they going to do about that? Time Twister gives them the opportunity to kill me. The Time Twister is also really sweet. How much mana do I have? So we'll get 3 back from Dark Petition. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I could just play Ulamog again and blow up Emrakul. I'm going to do that. Play an island. Destroy Emrakul. Nice. Pass the turn. Opponent probes us and sees we're holding only islands. They play a land. And scoop to the second Ulamog. Woohoo! That was close. Alright, I'll see you guys in round 2. That was fun. I like this deck. 3 pieces of power 9. Alrighty. Round 2, here we go. I would love to play first. Sure. I'll keep. Time Twister with Force backup seems fine. Start island, pass the turn. Need to not F6 though, because we do have a free counter spell, and I'm terrible at doing that. I do it all the time. I F6 when I'm not supposed to. Okay, opponent starts Bloodstained Mire, cracks Bloodstained Mire, and finds Plateau. Ah, it's the fun police again. Alright, play an island, pass the turn. If we could make it up to 5 mana, and we can Gilded Lotus into Time Twister, that'd be awesome. Okay. Spirit of the Labyrinth. Yep. Alright, exile Palinchron. Kind of needed my draw 7s. But it can attack us for 1 if they want. But they don't, because they are very disciplined with their Mother of Runes use. Play a Swamp. Let's go ahead and Time Twister. Alright, pass the turn. We do have Repeal now. So in the event my opponent plays like a Thalia or something, we can repeal Thalia for a redraw and to, like, unlock our hand for Storm. They played Tithe Taker. And Kythian. Problem is they have Mom, so we're basically only going to be able to repeal our own stuff at any point. Toxic Deluge going to be coming in out of the sideboard, absolutely. They do attack for 1, so if I want to repeal, I can. We draw Gush. Play Island. Pass. Okay. Opponent untaps. I'd like to get a Spell Pierce, just so I can Dark Petition for something. Okay. I will Spell Pierce Sulfuric Vortex. That would be very not good for us. Alright, so Dark Petition can now add triple black. We could hit for 5, go to 13. Kythian flips. And give Tithe Taker or Mother of Runes indestructible. Nice. We untap. We draw Wishclaw Talisman. So play an island. Play Wishclaw Talisman. Activate Wishclaw Talisman. We're gonna go get I think we get High Tide here. We either get High Tide or we get Time Spiral, and then if our opponent uses it, that's fine. I could also get Ancestral Recall. Just draw a bunch of cards now. I'm gonna get High Tide. This way, if my opponent wants to use Wishclaw Talisman, we just get Time Spiral and probably win. My opponent could get Thalia, but I think at this point we'd have so much mana that Thalia wouldn't matter. Unless there's an Eidolon of Rhetoric effect, at which point we would be in pretty big trouble. So my opponent animates Gideon into a 4/4. They play Elspeth. Okay. So we're getting hit for 10 and going to 3. Alright. Okay, they don't attack with Mom. We untap. We draw an island. Okay. So if I Dark Petition, I can get Time Spiral, but I have to play a Swamp to do that. I can High Tide first. Yeah, that works. Okay. So play a Swamp. No, we need a High Tide first. Okay, High Tide. Dark Petition. We get Time Spiral. This just gives us our best chance of going off, I think. Cast Time Spiral. We untap all of our lands. Okay. So then we Impulse. Guess I'll take a Gilded Lotus. And it looks like we're basically just going to cast an Ulamog this turn. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So if I Dark Ritual, now I have exactly enough mana to cast Ulamog. I can blow up, I guess, an Elspeth. Alternatively, I could turn about all my opponent's creatures and give myself another turn, but I'd lose High Tide. Well, I could Thrawn Dynamo into Gilded Lotus first, then turn about my opponent's creatures. As long as they don't have direct damage, we can stay alive. This sucks. We had so many chances to draw another draw 7, or like just like a Gush or Ancestral Recall or anything like that. I think casting Ulamog is the way to go, and if I do that, I need to blow up Elspeth so they can't just fly over Ulamog. So we go down to 7. Oh, we can't even cast Ulamog. I did the math wrong because we have 8, and I go down to 7, and then add 3, and that's 10. So that doesn't work. So I have to go for the turnabout plan. So that's play Thrawn Dynamo, play Gilded Lotus, pass the turn. Okay. I can't even turnabout because I don't have double blue, and I can't Dark Ritual into it either. So I'm just dead. All right. I forgot about Tithe Taker being a Thalia on my opponent's turn only. Okay, well the good news is we have interaction here. So we have Toxic Deluge, we have Languish if we want it. We'll drop Palancron for Toxic Deluge, and I think that's all we need for now. Alright. Game 2 of round 2. We have mana. We can kill a creature. We have to mulligan though, because that hand doesn't do very much. This one's got some potential. I'm going to keep this. I'm going to put back Gilded Lotus, I think. Yeah, I'm going to put back Gilded Lotus. Play an island. I really don't want to force a will anything, but I will if I have to. Okay, opponent starts Ancient Tomb, Mox Diamond. Pitching a Plains. This is a Vryn Wingmare. I have to... if it's a Rabble Master, I'm pretty sure I have to counter it as well. So there goes, like, all of our interaction and most of our hand. So we gotta have some really good top decks. Okay. Toxic Deluge is fine. Wish I had known I was drawing that. I wouldn't have forced, but... no way to know. Opponent plays a Plains and plays a Tithe Taker into a Spirit of the Labyrinth. Alright, well we're not drawing multiple cards for a while. We do need to draw a Swamp, though. A Swamp in short order would be great. Especially if our opponent keeps flooding the board. Just so long as they don't have a Duress. If they have a Duress, we're in huge trouble. Opponent hits us for 5. We go to 14. They play a Smuggler's Copter. We untap and draw an island. You know, islands are great and fine and dandy, but kind of need to draw a swamp. The old no-fixing deck. Okay, opponent plays a Plains. That's a problem. So they animate Copter. We get hit for 8. We go down to 6. Now Toxic Deluge doesn't even do it. But it's still vital to being able to combo, because it's the only way to answer Spirit of the Labyrinth. So if I play Toxic Deluge, a Deluge for 1 or 2, we just die to Gideon animating. This sucks. I don't think there's anything we can Dark Ritual for, or we can Dark Petition for, I mean. So Dark Ritual... Dark Petition. We'll have a single blue and 3 black mana. I have no way to stop Gideon from attacking. I could get a Tendrils here and regain a little bit of life, but it's not going to be enough to do anything against our opponent. This is unfortunate. We just lost. I could take Collective Brutality, I guess. And I could kill Spirit of the Labyrinth and Drain. We'd go up to 8. Then we get hit for 9. Yeah. Why did it have to be Spirit of the Labyrinth, though? Oh, we got by the fun police. But that's what they're there for. So make sure not that many people have fun. We'll see you guys around 3. Alright. I mean, this is really close to a powerful hand. It's just not a powerful hand. So we'll mulligan. I actually kind of like this hand. The question is, if I keep it, what do I put back? It's probably Collective Brutality. Yeah, I'm going to put back Collective Brutality. Opponent plays Spire Bluff Canal. We draw an island. Nice. Play an island. Pass the turn. We're just going to leave up Spell Pierce. The name of the game is Delay right now. Opponent plays a mountain. So they're probably like a Splinter Twin style deck. We draw Gush. Play a swamp. Pass the turn. We're saving Mox Sapphire basically for storm count purposes, and to hide the fact that we have a Mox Sapphire. It doesn't help us cast any of our counter spells or anything right now. Opponent plays a mountain. And passes. We draw Ulamog. Alright. Play Mox Sapphire. We're going to repeal and try and hit a land. I hate doing this right now because it's just a waste of storm count. Play Mox again. Play Wishclaw Talisman. Opponent miscalcs the Talisman, so we're going to Spell Pierce Miscalc. Yeah, we didn't have a way to actually get to like win condition there. Alright, opponent plays Dak Faden, takes Wishclaw Talisman. How rude. We untap and draw an island. Play an island. Pass the turn, I guess. Opponent goes looting. Pitches Lightning Bolt and Thundermaw. Hard casts to light up the stage. Finds a Wasteland and a Narset. Joke's on you, I don't play any non-basics. At least we don't have to worry about Narset now, though we will in future games. We have to remember our opponent has Narset Parter Avails, which makes our draw 7s terrible. Opponent does not activate Wishclaw Talisman. They do not want us tutoring. Okay, we draw an island. Play an island. Now we have Hardcast Force or Hardcast Gush. So if my opponent plays Narset, we have to actually counter it. They take our Mox. If they pass through the turns, we cast Gush and try and draw. Everflowing Chalice kicked twice. I don't think that matters, so we're just going to cast Gush now. Okay, we get Dark Petition and Impulse. Alright, we untap. Opponent no longer has access to Narset. We draw a Swamp. Let's see. So we can play a Swamp, have 5 mana, Dark Ritual up to 7, cast Dark Petition, go down to 6, and then like Time Spiral or something and see if we can't get a reset. We're missing our Mox and Wishclaw Talisman, but our opponent is tapped out. I think it's worth trying while our opponent is tapped out. We don't go to 6. We go to 5. Alright. Dark Petition. Kano can't math. Yet again. We can either get Time Twister, or I can get Ancestral Recall, and then use Recall and like Impulse. I think with my opponent having 4 cards in hand still, Recall is probably better than giving them a full grip of cards. Okay. Didn't really want to just draw 3 lands, but I guess that's how it's going to be. We'll get Time Spiral here. This does allow us to force, though I don't think I really want to. I would much prefer now if we could top deck a High Tide, that'd be great. And of course, if our opponent has no counter spells, that would also be great. Kano, you moron! You didn't draft any fixing! We're just playing around Wasteland. Okay, opponent plays Runaway Steamkin and Young Pyro. They have Hardcast Force of Negation mana. So I'd like to top deck like High Tide and then another blue card. Well, there's High Tide. Play an island, we're just going to pass. We're going to wait one more turn, see if we can't draw another blue card. We still have, like, hardcast Force of Will if we need it. Alright, opponent does nothing. Attacks us for 4. We go down to 16, and then they pass. We untap, draw another island. Alright, I'm just going to go for it now. High Tide gives us 8-10 mana. Oh, if I wait one more turn, I could hardcast Force of Will as a backup. Alright, I'll wait one more turn. We're not in a rush yet. There's always the chance my opponent plays something else. Okay, they play a Pestermite. Sure. If they have Splinter Twin and a spell to back it up, I guess we just lose to that, but... Opponent untaps, plays a land, activates Wishclaw Talisman. They're either getting Splinter Twin or a spell they can use to back it up with. Okay, opponent casts Splinter Twin. We cast Force. Okay. Alright. Next game. I kind of want Mesmeric Fiend in this matchup. Take out Palancron. I could also play him to Turok, but that's going to be really hard to cast. So we're just going to run it back. I would play first. I mean, we have the win condition. We have ways to go off. We just don't have any mana. I'm going to mulligan. I like this slightly better. So I'm going to keep, and I'm going to put back Gilded Lotus. Play an island, pass the turn. It's possible I should have put back Collective Brutality, but like... Alright, opponent starts Mox Diamond, so this Time Twister is going to be way better for them than it is for us, provided it resolves it all. They discard an island to Mox Diamond. We draw a Narset. Play an island, pass the turn. Okay. Opponent untaps. Plays a mountain. We untap. We draw a Turnabout. So, play an island. We're going to play Narset. And if she resolves, we are going to downtick because we need to try and hit Force in case our opponent does have Pestermite Splinter Twin. I've got a feeling they have Pestermite Splinter Twin. So let's try and hit our free counter spell here. Brazen Borrower. Okay. Completely whiff. Alright, pass the turn. So they can just attack and kill Narset, unfortunately. Well, we chose to play around the instant lose rather than just keeping Narset alive. So my opponent attacks and kills Narset, and they do not do anything else. We draw Treachery. Alright, well, just cast Time Twister, because we kind of need lands. So does our opponent. They might actually let this happen. They don't. Okay, pass the turn. I'd really like to draw a Swamp. Opponent plays a tap land. Attacks us for 3. We untap. We draw another island. Play an island. Pass the turn. Opponent plays Deceiver Exarch. Tapping a land, so we can't just turn about their creatures to buy one more turn. Do they have it? Yep, they had it. They had it with Counterspell backup. Alright. That's disappointing. Well, if you enjoyed this league and you want to see more Vintage Cube, please leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel if you're so inclined, and remember you can follow me on Twitch. Same username over there as you find me on here. I stream Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And, yeah, I hope to see you there. Last stream last night was really, really fun. I got some fan art drawn of me, and if you want to see that fan art and you want to hang out with all the people from the Twitch chat, and a lot of them from the YouTube comments, please head out and over to the Discord. The link is in the description below, and I'd love to see you guys there. It's been a blast talking to all of you, especially with all the craziness happening in real life right now. It's fun to have a bunch of people that we can hang out and play Magic with. So, alright, well, I'll talk to you guys later. Hope you have a good day. Bye!